Okay, we are going to get started. It's cold. We all wish it was exactly the way it was an hour ago, but it's not. So we are going to be as brief as we can possibly be, yet fully respecting the magnitude of this amazing event. So happy 400th birthday, Gloucester. I'm Susan Kelly from Generous Gardeners, and I'm amazed that we were able to make this happen right before the end of the 400th. And I'm very pleased to introduce Chris Williams, who is our artist who has made our amazing sculptural planters for the 400th. And I'm going to let you say a few words.
Okay. Thank you for coming. This is a really exciting project for me. It's a huge honor. I can't believe that we have anything. I can't believe that we've actually got another permanent piece of art on the boulevard. It's awesome. And it's huge thanks to Generous Gardeners for the faith and the trust in this project. Ann Johnson and Sue Kelly, oh my God. And, Mayor Verga, thank you so much. Everybody pulled together to make this happen. It was over a year's worth of work together, and I'm not alone. I work with Xavier Murdoch. He's been with me for a few years. Huge talent. You should look out for him. But yep, that's all. I just thank you for coming, and it's very exciting.
And we would like to do the unveiling, but we would like to have the mayor at 1. Antonetta, where are you? Okay, Antonetta's at 1. Who's with you, Antonetta? Okay, Mayor or Ann Margaret or Ann Margaret, do you want to do an unveiling? Unveil a planter. Okay. And okay, so would you go to Hazel over there, and is Bruce Tarr here? Bruce, would you go and do an unveiling? Do an unveiling of the planter? And then Ann Johnson, you're unveiling for Generous Gardeners with Rosemary over there. Sorry, we want the world to see these amazing works of art. So, sorry. I'm amazed they stayed intact with the planters. Okay, Antoinette, tell me is everybody ready? Can you put a hand up if you're ready? Hands up if you're ready. Ready? Are you ready? Ready? Okay, now go ahead and unveil our sculptural Chris Williams artistic planters for the 400th birthday of Gloucester, Massachusetts. Wonderful. And I'm hoping that now, Greg, could you please come and say a few words next? And the order is going to be Greg, and then Ann Margaret, and then Bruce Tarr, and then Ann Johnson from Generous Garden is going to say a few words. So, Mayor Greg Verga, could you please come? Greg, your turn.
Should I come down, Susan? Remind people to keep the mic close.
Oh, keep the mic close.
Keep the mic close. Oh. All right, what do you guys think of the planters? They are gorgeous. So I just want to say thank you to Susan and Generous Gardeners. It was your pushing that got this done. And Chris, without you, they wouldn't be here either. So thank you so much. Thanks all of you for being here. And I can't wait to see in 100 years how they blend in and look just like the statue with that beautiful green. But thank you, everybody. And I don't know who's supposed to speak after me. I'll just keep on going. All right. I'll sing a tune for you.
I was going to say we should have brought the bass, man.
Hey.
How are you? Seen you since you've been
Ann? Okay, I'll introduce you real quick. Okay, so I'd like to introduce Ann Margaret Ferrante. She was hugely instrumental in getting the state funding for these planters. I'm so appreciative. It was been amazing, and I just thank you so much. I know I was a nag.
No. Definitely not a nag. And how about this? What a compliment to the fisherman at the wheel, huh? Something truly special for the I'm sorry, the 400th. 400. I'm stuck back in 3-something. The 400th. But this obviously wouldn't have happened without Susan Kelly and her team.
My
And
team.
your big team,
big
as we
team.
all saw, with the green aprons, and we can still see them all around.
And it's gonna say first.
And where's Chris Williams, the man of the hour? I mean, could we have gotten any better artwork out here on the boulevard today? So I know it's cold. I'm going to be quick. Where's Bruce Tarr?
Bruce is right
Paige
here,
and
Bruce.
Bruce Tarr, you're up next.
Bruce and Ann together made that whole big commitment happen. Thank you, Bruce. I so appreciate it.
Thank you, Susan, and good afternoon, everybody. It is a little bit breezy out here, so I'm going to try to give you a little bit of hot air. First of all, big round of applause for Chris and an incredible job on these planters. Second of all, you know, we are celebrating the 400th anniversary of our city, and there's a lot of stories that are going to be told and are going to continue to be told about things that have happened. And a lot of them center around the boulevard. A lot of them center around the man at the wheel and the fisherman's wife statue. But a story that will absolutely become part of the history of this city is how the generous gardeners transformed this sacred place into something even more beautiful than it was before. Thank you so much, generous gardeners. You have elevated this boulevard, and tonight, this evening, we celebrate your permanent mark with this wonderful design and the sculpture by Chris and these planters. They remind us of where we have been, where we are going, the character of the city, and why, because they're circular, we are all in it together. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you. And I first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody, but I do want to make a special thanks to Mike Nocella and his crew that, first of all, he's a major donor for this project. So Mike is here today, and he and his crew did amazing jobs getting it installed in time, which was incredible. They had to dig conduit under to meet code. They did all kinds of amazing things, and I'm sorry he didn't get more recognition. But I also, my rock star, Ann Johnson. I'd like to introduce Ann Gilardi Johnson, who designed the Fisherman Wives Memorial over 20 years ago and has been volunteer designing for Generous Gardeners ever since. She is an amazing person. Gloucester made, and I did this for her. And a lot of us did this for her because she has done so much for us and the city of Gloucester.
Thank you, Susan.
Keep it close to your mouth.
I know that Susan lost a few nights of sleep over this because funding was a big issue. And
Keep the mic really close.
yeah, we have to remember Generous Gardeners is a totally volunteer organization, and absolutely no one takes a salary. So this was a big undertaking. But I want to remind all of you that Gloucester is about the ocean. Yep. Is that better? Gloucester is about the ocean, and it's always been about the ocean. That's what brought the indigenous people, the settlers, and every ethnic group that came to our shores. The ocean surrounds us. It makes us strong. It feeds us. It makes us resilient, and it inspires us. This is a special place. We are special people, and our traditions are special. Read the 400 stories, and you'll get a little glimpse of that. Chris had a mantra as he worked. He said, "We have to get it right." I watched him make each individual piece, and sometimes after spending hours, he would spend more hours and undo it and redo it again, because we have to get it right. We have to honor our people and our traditions. It doesn't matter whether we're building garden beds or planter boxes or 2,000 units of housing. We have an obligation to honor Gloucester, its people and traditions, and get it right. And if we get it right, a future generation will stand here and commend us. And our stories will be the 500 stories. I want to salute Generous Gardeners because obviously this wouldn't have happened without their sponsorship. I also salute Mayor Greg Verga because when we brought him to the studio at the beginning of the project, he committed to one of these beautiful planters. It made a difference to have the backing of the mayor. I also salute Bruce Tarr and Ann Margaret. Their many years of service with the state and expertise, they knew exactly where to find the funds and to expedite them for 2 more planters. And I want to salute our former mayor because when we brought the plans to her, she's the one who approved the original improvements. And she made a comment. She said, "The planters are the perfect project for a local sculptor." That sent me to the phone. And that's why we have Chris. And I also want to salute Mike Nacella. When Antoinette and I stood on this site after the benches were installed, and Mike said, "These old planters, I can take them and refurbish them and paint them." And I said, "No, Mike, I have a grander vision." Mike took out his checkbook and immediately wrote a very generous check. That gave Generous Gardeners the opportunity to start the project with Chris. And that's not the only generous check he wrote. And finally, Chris, there you are. I want to salute you. It was an honor working with you. And rest assured, Chris, you got it right.
That was awesome. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Anne. She has done so much for the city and for Generous Gardeners. And now, unless somebody else needs to say something, Antonetta, do you need to say something? No. We are just, Antonetta deserves a round of applause. She is our Dahlia Queen. And she got this all organized because I was on a business trip for my paid work. Thank you so much, everybody. And I guess now it's on to the trap lighting, the Christmas trap lighting. Yeah. Oh, no, you need to say something? Okay.
First of all, thanks, Susan. She had this idea years and years ago. And Mike Hale said, this group I will support because it's not a group that's going to start something and not finish it. It's a group that will continue. And a lot of people didn't know who the Generous Gardens were. Why are they doing the boulevard? How come they're planting 20,000 tulips? Did they go out for bid? Did they do this? They've been cleaning the whole city for years and no one's noticed, but the ones who see the beautiful city has. The tourists that came to town. They made it better. But Susan, it was you who started the group. It was you who had the vision. It was you who put everything together and get the right people to come forward. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor, because if we didn't have those boulevard beds, we would be toiling in obscurity. Yeah.
So I want to thank you and my DPW, Mike Hale, for believing in you.
And I do want to thank Mike Hale, too. I'm sorry. Mike. Where's Mike? Mike, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Don't hide. He's very, very supportive. We have monthly meetings with Mike. I know anyway. But thank you very much, everybody, and get warm. Okay.